The story of France at war is a story of courage, tragedy, and resilience. Long before the world was reshaped by global conflicts, France stood at the heart of European tensions, its cities, fields, and people caught in the crossfire of history. One of the earliest and most defining wars for modern France was the Franco-Prussian War of 1870 to 1871, a conflict that changed not only the French nation but also the entire balance of power in Europe. In the summer of 1870, Europe was already a cauldron of political tension. The French Empire, under Napoleon III, faced the ambitious rise of Prussia, led by Chancellor Otto von Bismarck. The unification of Germany was on the horizon, and Prussia saw France as an obstacle to its ambitions. For France, pride, honor, and strategic interests collided. Pushing the nation into a war that would test its very identity, the conflict began with a declaration of war by France on July 19, 1870. Across the northern and eastern borders, French soldiers mobilized rapidly. At first, there was a sense of confidence. France had a proud military tradition, and Napoleon III believed that swift victories could secure French dominance. Yet the reality was far harsher. The Prussian army was organized, disciplined, and equipped with modern technology. Within weeks, the French forces faced devastating defeats. The first major confrontation occurred at the Battle of Wissembourg on August 4, 1870. French troops, numbering around 20,000, faced a well-prepared Prussian force. The French soldiers fought bravely, but their outdated strategies and poor coordination led to a catastrophic defeat. The battle marked the beginning of a campaign that would bring humiliation and despair to France. As the war unfolded, French citizens felt the impact profoundly. Cities near the borders were evacuated, families separated, and the economy strained under the demands of war. French villages, once peaceful, became temporary military encampments, and the countryside was scarred by marching armies and artillery fire. The French people, known for their resilience, endured shortages and fear, yet their spirit remained unbroken. One of the most pivotal moments came with the Battle of Sedan on September 1, 1870. Here, Napoleon III himself led his army against the Prussian forces. The battle was fierce and brutal. French troops fought with determination, yet the Prussians, using superior tactics and artillery, surrounded the French army. In a dramatic and humiliating turn of events, Napoleon III was captured along with over 100,000 French soldiers. The defeat shocked the nation and led to the fall of the Second French Empire. In the aftermath, France faced political upheaval. The capture of Napoleon III paved the way for the proclamation of the Third Republic. Paris, the capital, became a symbol of resistance as the nation struggled to regroup. Even as the Prussian forces advanced, the French people refused to surrender easily. Siege warfare began around Paris, with citizens enduring hunger, cold, and bombardment, demonstrating courage under unimaginable conditions. During the Siege of Paris, which lasted from September 1870 to January 1871, the city's population experienced daily hardships. Food shortages forced people to consume anything available, from horses to unconventional substitutes. Despite the suffering, Parisians maintained a spirit of defiance, organizing committees to provide aid, maintain morale, and support the troops defending the city. Artists, writers, and ordinary citizens contributed in their own ways, documenting the horrors of war while preserving the cultural heartbeat of France. Meanwhile, in other regions, guerrilla-style resistance and volunteer armies, known as the Francs-Tireurs, harassed Prussian supply lines. These irregular units demonstrated the determination of ordinary French people to defend their homeland. The war was no longer just a clash of professional armies. It had become a nationwide struggle, where citizens and soldiers alike fought for survival, pride, and national identity. Ultimately, the Franco-Prussian War ended with the Treaty of Frankfurt in May 1871. France had suffered tremendous loss, over 100,000 soldiers killed, countless wounded, and significant territorial losses. The provinces of Alsace and Lorraine were ceded to the newly unified Germany, a wound that would linger in the French psyche for decades. The war had exposed weaknesses in French military organization and political leadership, but it had also revealed the remarkable resilience of the French people. The impact of the war extended far beyond the battlefield. France underwent a period of national reflection, political restructuring, and cultural renaissance. The Third Republic emerged. From the ashes, determined to modernize the military, strengthen national unity, and preserve French identity in the face of external threats. Education, infrastructure, and cultural initiatives became central to rebuilding the nation, while the memory of the war shaped French art, literature, and politics for generations. Stories of heroism emerged from both soldiers and civilians. Lieutenant colonels leading desperate charges, medics tending to the wounded under fire, ordinary families providing shelter and corral. These acts of courage became part of the national narrative. The war was a harsh teacher, revealing the fragility of empires, but also the enduring spirit of those who call France home. For the French audience today, understanding this first major war is not just about remembering battles or military strategies. It is about connecting with the essence of France's historical identity, the resilience, ingenuity, and passion of a people determined to defend their culture and homeland. The Franco-Prussian War reminds us that wars are fought not only on the front lines, but also in the hearts and minds of ordinary citizens who endure, adapt, and survive. As we reflect on this chapter of history, it is essential to recognize the lessons it imparts. Leadership, preparation, and unity are critical in times of crisis. Yet, above all, it is the human spirit, courage in the face of fear, solidarity amid suffering, and hope even in despair that shapes the course of history. France's journey through its first modern war teaches us that even in defeat there can be the seeds of renewal, the foundation for future strength, and the inspiration for generations to come. Today, when walking through the streets of Paris or the serene villages of Alsace and Lorraine, one can still sense the echoes of the past. Monuments, museums, and memorials stand as silent witnesses to the sacrifices made. Schools teach children about the bravery of soldiers and civilians alike, ensuring that the memory of those who endured continues to inspire. The Franco-Prussian War was more than a military conflict. It was a crucible that forged the character of modern France. In conclusion, France's first major war was a defining moment, a test of courage, resilience, and identity. From the early battles at Wissembourg to the devastating loss at Sedan, from the suffering endured during the siege of Paris to the rise of the Third Republic, every chapter reveals the complex tapestry of human emotion and national determination. For the French audience, it is a story that resonates deeply, a reminder of where the nation has come from, the trials it has faced, the enduring strength that defines its people. France emerged from this conflict humbled yet unbroken, scarred, but determined, ready to reclaim its place in Europe and the world. It is a story of sorrow and pride, of lessons learned and courage remembered, a story that belongs to every French citizen, past and present, and one that continues to shape the identity of the nation today.